Hi, boys and girls. I hope you've had a great Tuesday. I am recording live from not live to you. It's going to be pre-recorded for you, but I am from someplace in Cortland County, and I am going to be reading to you Sporty Goofy and the Racing Robot. The crowd was on their feet and cheering. The news photographers were snapping pictures. With a late burst of speed, Sport Goofy had won the race. "What a great athlete Sport Goofy is," shouted a fan. "He runs like the wind," exclaimed another. But there was one spectator who hadn't come to cheer for Sport Goofy to win. His name was Big Bad Pete, and he was a crook. Pete watched while the mayor awarded Sport Goofy a trophy. Then, the mayor handed Sport Goofy a check for a great deal of money. "That's the last prize money Sport Goofy is gonna win," Pete muttered to himself. "Next time, I'll be the one who will collect the check." With that, Pete stomped away. So it sounds like he's pretty jealous of Sport Goofy. The mayor wanted to make a long speech, but Sport Goofy quickly excused himself. "I have some errands to run," said Sport Goofy, and he went on his way. First, Sport Goofy ran to the bank and he cashed his check. Next, he dashed into a store where he bought rackets and bats and balls. After that, he raced all the way across town. So we can see that Sport Goofy loves all kinds of different sports, which is why I chose this place where I am to do the reading. He stopped running when he arrived at the orphanage. "Look what I have for you," he said to the boys and girls. The children's eyes always brightened with joy when Sport Goofy came to visit them. He was their best friend. Each and every child thanked Sporty Goofy for the equipment. The director of the orphanage also thanked him. "There's another race next week," Sport Goofy told them. "If I win the prize money again, I'm going to buy that field over there for your children. Then you'll have lots of room to run and play." So it sounds like Sport Goofy not only loves sports, but he also loves to help people, doesn't he? In the meantime, Big Bad Pete was planning something very dishonest. He was putting together a robot. When it was completed, Pete was going to enter it in the race against Sport Goofy. "My robot will look so much like a real person," snarled Pete to himself. "It will fool everybody." So there he is. He's putting it together. A week later, the runners arrived at the track. Once again, crowds of people came to watch Sport Goofy run. Everyone was glad to see Sport Goofy. They didn't pay any attention to the new runner that Pete had entered. "His name is Zippy," Pete told the entry judge. While the runners were lining up to begin the race, Pete hid behind a nearby fence. He wanted to be sure no one saw him pressing the buttons on the control unit that would make his robot run. The starter gave the signal and whoosh! The athletes were off and running. Sport Goofy had a determined look on his face. He was thinking of the children in the orphanage. "I have to win this race so I can buy that playing field for them," he thought. And there he goes. But look who's coming along with him. Looking out from his hiding place, Pete began to worry. Sport Goofy was running farther ahead of Zippy the robot with every step. Before long, the runners were nearing the finish line. "No, you don't, Sport Goofy," growled Pete. He pressed the extra fast button on his control unit and zoom! Zippy streaked ahead and he won the race. Sport Goofy felt sad. Losing the race meant he would not be able to buy the playing field for his friends. Still, he congratulated the winner, for he was always a good sport. The mayor also shook hands with Zippy and said, "Here's your trophy, and here's your check." So what a good Sport Goofy is. At that very instant, Pete appeared and rudely snatched the check from the mayor's hand. "I'll take that," he growled. "I'm his manager." There was a reason for Pete to hurry. He had made his flimsy robot run extra fast, and now he was afraid it would begin falling apart. Grabbing a hold of Zippy's hand, Pete started to run. Suddenly, puffs of smoke came out of the robot's ears. A spring inside the robot snapped, and ping! Its head flew off. Everybody gasped in surprise. "That isn't a person," said the mayor. "It's a robot." As more pieces of Zippy began dropping, Pete let go of the robot and tried to flee with the trophy and the check. The mayor stepped in front of him. "Oh, no, you don't, you scoundrel," he said. "Robots don't belong in places with people," said the mayor. "That's cheating." The mayor took the trophy and check from Big Bad Pete, and he gave them to Sporty Goofy. "You're the rightful winner," he declared. "Whenever I cheat, I get caught," Pete grumbled. The day after the race, Sporty Goofy kept his promise. He bought the playing field with his prize money. "The boys and girls will get a lot of good exercise now," said Sport Goofy to the director of the orphanage. The director nodded his head in agreement. "You are truly the best friend a child could ever have, Sport Goofy," he said. And that is the end of Sport Goofy and the racing robot. So I bet you notice I'm wearing my trusty Goofy hat, and guess what, boys and girls? This is my Goofy hat from when I was a girl. Goofy was my most favorite Disney character, and I got this when I went on vacation when I was in 7th grade. I went to Orlando, Florida, which is where Disney World is, and I got this hat, and my mom actually found it recently and found this book, which was one of my books when I was a girl. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm wondering if you figured out where I am yet. If you take a look behind me, I'm going to move the camera around. And I also want to show you what's behind me here. This is a red dragon. And the red dragon is the mascot of the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons. So what you see behind me is the main facade of the SUNY Cortland Stadium at the college at SUNY Cortland, right in our town. So sometimes at night they have lights lit up, and they take up a lot of lights in town because they have a very big field. So this is the biggest field in the city of Cortland, in Cortland County actually. So it's very exciting, and I actually went to college here at SUNY Cortland. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's Read Aloud. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. I do have all of your stuff for you to pick up, your reread bag. I hope you're going to be bringing your library books and any readers that you have, so either Scott or Zach and Ann, and also any technology devices that you have, anything like that, the cords, the chargers, all that kind of stuff. If you could bring those back, I'll be looking for you tomorrow. I will be right near the cafeteria, so look for me, and I look forward to seeing you. Make sure you stay in your car, and I'll come to you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.